Welcome to Shepherd's Table. I'm your host, Ian Parkinson, and I have with me today Pastor Roland from Victory Lutheran. Welcome, Pastor.
Thanks for having me. Good to be here again.
So, what's new in your life?
Well, a lot of things have been going on. I've had a very busy fall. It's been an exciting time to be in ministry here at Victory Lutheran and in Medicine Hat. There's a lot of exciting things going on. I think for me, one of the highlights has been I've been doing a Bible study on the Nicene Creed, which of course is one of the three ecumenical creeds of Christianity coming out of the councils in the early church. In particular, this one comes out of, at least its beginning stage comes from the Council of Nicaea in 325, which was presided over by none other than Emperor Constantine himself. So there's a fun fact. And actually, the Nicene Creed turns 1700 this year, which is why I did a Bible study on it, and we've been studying through that. And people from Victory, but also people from other churches in town, have been taking part of it just because they're interested in this ancient confession of the church, and I've been really enjoying that. Yeah. Has
it gone through various translations or iterations over the years?
Yeah, I mean, obviously translation is always a complicated thing. The original language is Greek, but it's not the Greek of the Bible. It's Attic Greek. So basically there's Koine Greek, which is the Greek that everyone speaks, and it's kind of, for no better words, the peasant Greek, right? And that's the Greek that the Bible is written in. But anything academic, a lot of the really big theological works, people who were very educated would always write in Attic Greek, which is a far more complicated form of Greek. It has more what are called declensions, so ways of conjugating verbs and nouns. So it's a little bit more complicated. And the words in it are very precise, right? They were very precisely chosen, so sometimes they have a hard time translating those concepts over. But overall, English has a pretty standard accepted translation that I would say the vast majority of churches use here in North America, for example. Most of our Nicene Creeds would sound the same. The biggest controversy is whether you say I believe or we believe.
Wow, big controversy.
Oh, well, you know how it is.
So what was the intent behind the creed?
Well, the intent behind the creed was to answer, basically, insofar as possible, once and for all, some of these questions about who is God the Father, who is God the Son, who is God the Holy Spirit, what do they do, what are they responsible for, what is the relationship between them? You know, who's God, who's not God? Of course, the Nicene Creed affirms a Trinitarian God in the form of Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Right. And so really, it was a way of answering a lot of questions and controversies of the time, and having the church gather together, all these different bishops, all these different leaders from all the different parts of the church in the ancient world, and they said, okay, let's hash this out. Let's come to an agreement. And really, that's what happened, and that's where we get the Nicene Creed. And that's why creeds like the Nicene Creed, the Apostles' Creed, the Athanasian Creed have such an important history in Christianity, because it's kind of our charter document, for no better words. It's like, we can at least agree on this. People that agree on this are in the club. People that don't agree on this are not in the club, right? And that was essentially what these creeds were born out of, and that's why I think it's important for churches to continue to not just confess them on Sundays, which we do at Victory every Sunday, but also to learn what they are, why they came to be, and what they contain.
Well, that leads me to, I guess, the next question. The Nicene Creed is one of three. So the Disciples' Creed and the
Apostles' Creed and the Athanasian Creed. The Apostles' Creed comes a little bit later than the Nicene Creed. The history of the tradition is, and you can take this with a grain of salt, is the 12 apostles each wrote one line. But the thing that's interesting about the Apostles' Creed is its original language is Latin. So it's unlikely that that was the case. But there is deep roots of the Apostles' Creed being used in baptismal ceremonies from basically the 1st century. So a nascent form of that creed we have evidence of from at least 150 AD. its final form didn't really come till 500-600 AD, and the Athanasian Creed is the latest of the creeds, and it was formulated between 600 and 800. Now, a fun fact for you, because we're coming close to Christmas, the Nicene Creed comes out of the Council of Nicaea, and St. Nicholas was at Nicaea, of course. Now, St. Nicholas, we know him for giving presents and whatnot, but what St. Nicholas is actually most famous for is punching a heretic named Arius in the face at the council, because Arius said that Jesus was not the Son of God. And so that's actually a funny little story. So now all the kids can imagine Santa Claus punching a guy in the face.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming in, Pastor Roland.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for watching.